Jackson's troops in 1814 is also the middle name of the Union general who won the Battle of Atlanta and captured Savannah? Jacob North Branch.
Tecumseh.
Tecumseh is correct. The Gospels are the first 4 books of the New Testament. What is the 5th? Ryan North Branch.
Acts.
Acts is correct. Despite what happened in 1692, there are more than 2,000 witches still living and practicing natural magic in this Massachusetts town. Ryan North Branch.
Salem.
Salem is correct. His Apache name, Goyothe, means one who yawns, but few people yawn this Spanish name. Instead, they scream it as they jump out of an Andy Central.
Geronimo.
Geronimo is correct. William Congreve wrote that its charms are able to soften rocks or bend a knotted oak. He is often misquoted as saying that it has charms to soothe a savage beast. Jason Central.
Music.
Music is the correct answer. It became especially popular during the 1936 presidential campaign when it was used by FDR as his theme song. What is this optimistic song? Jacob North Branch.
Happy Days Are Here Again.
That's correct. It's the transparent layer in front of the lens of the eye. It's the Tom Central.
Cornea.
Cornea is correct. Prosper Mérimée wrote a story about Ryan North Branch. Carmen is correct. Maureen Reagan, Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands, and Winston Churchill all claim to have seen Abraham Lincoln there, in the bedroom named for him. What is this famous Jacob North Branch?
The Blue Bedroom.
Less specific, please.
The Blue Room.
That's incorrect. Maureen Reagan, Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands, and Winston Churchill all claim to have seen Abraham Lincoln there in the bedroom named for him. What is this famous haunted house? Time's up. The White House. I needed the complete question. Ask for the name of the haunted house. In 1974, Turkey invaded this Mediterranean island by Grant North Branch.
Cyprus.
Cyprus is correct. His less famous horror novels include The Lair of the White Worm and The Lady of the Shroud, but he's most famous for one book, Dracula. Ryan North Branch.
Stoker.
Stoker is correct. 1850 to 1864 in China. Ryan North Branch.
Opium Wars.
That's incorrect. 1850 to 1864 in China. 1642 to 1646 in England. 1936 to 1939 in Spain. 1861 to 1865 in the United States. Tom Central.
The Civil War.
Civil War is the answer I needed. It weighed 30 pounds and was launched by Juno 1 rocket from Cape Canaveral. Darren Central.
Score 1.
Correct answer. There's our buzzer. That will bring round 1 to a close, and as we can see, Central trails at this point, so you get the first crack of round 2. As you know, that's our lightning round. I'm about to give you your choice of 3 categories. Once you've selected, you'll have 60 seconds to answer up to 10 questions in that category. You may consult during this round, and you don't have to buzz in, but I'll only accept answers from your team captain. If you don't know an answer, you must say pass before I continue. We'll give you 10 points for each correct answer, a 20-point bonus if all 10 are correct. Central, once your minute is up, North Branch, you'll have 30 seconds to answer any question they fail to answer. Then you'll choose from the remaining 2 categories, and we'll repeat the process. Central, your choices for this game are alphabet soup, bar exam, or by any other name.
By any other name.
Okay, listen carefully. Abraham Lincoln was Honest Abe. Richard Nixon was Tricky Dicky. For 10 points each, identify the men and women who were known by the following nicknames. Here we go. We begin with number 1, the Bard of Avon.
Pass.
The president known as Silent Cal.
Calvin Coolidge.
Correct. The King of England called the Lion-Hearted.
Richard the Lionheart.
I'll accept that. Il Duce.
Pass.
The 19th century senator known as the Great Compromiser.
La Follette.
Incorrect. The Wizard of Menlo Park.
Thomas Edison.
Correct. The Greek philosopher who called himself the Gadfly of Athens.
Socrates.
Correct. The Mad Monk of Russia before the Russian Revolution.
Bolshevik.
Incorrect. The combat pilot known as the Red Baron.
Pass.
The American president known as Old Hickory.
Andrew Jackson.
That's correct, and that's all 10. And you'll score 50 points. You had 5 correct. And now we'll reset our clock at 30. North Branch, I turn to you from the top, the Bard of Avon.
Shakespeare.
Correct. Il Duce.
Mussolini.
Correct. 19th century senator known as the
Clay.
Great. That's correct. The Mad Monk of Russia.
Rasputin.
That's correct. The combat pilot
Rick
known.
Tobin.
Pardon me?
Rick Tobin.
That's correct. And that's all of them. And that gives you 50 points. We get all 10 correct between the two teams in that round. And North Branch, you may now select between alphabet soup and bar exam.
Alphabet soup. Alphabet soup. It's loud. Not too loud. Just make sure your directory.
Okay, we live in a world full of abbreviations. FBI, ABC, UGA, DNA, all the rest. For 10 points each, what do each of the following 3-letter abbreviations stand for? Here we go. We begin with number 1. For covert operations, call the CIA.
Central
Intelligence Agency.
Correct. To a baseball fan, it's a pitcher's ERA.
Earned run average.
Correct. On a memo, FYI.
For your information.
Correct. On a police report, DUI.
Driving under the influence.
Correct. In American history, the CSA.
Confederate States of America.
Correct. On the president's cabinet, HUD.
Housing and urban development.
Correct. When working with fractions, the LCD.
Lowest common denominator.
Correct. If you order something by mail, it might be COD.
Cash on delivery.
Correct. In the business world, IBM.
International business machines. International business machines.
Correct. If you're planning to go to college, you'll take the SAT this year.
Scholastic aptitude.
It's assessment test. Yeah, Scholastic assessment test.
That's the correct answer for 10 out of 10. Very nicely done. 120 points. We'll go to North Branch with that 20-point bonus. We'll total up all those points and be back for our extra credit round right after this. Right there, a quick 100 points to North Branch. We got our score all squared away. 310 to 130 teams. Anything can still happen because this is extra credit. Remember, you're answering 10-point toss-ups for the right to get 10 additional points of credit with an additional credit. Remember, you may consult on the extra credit questions only. Next time you hear our signal, that will signal the end of play. At that point, we'll continue the extra credit cycle on that particular question all the way to conclusion. Here we go. Toss-up. Industrial designer Raymond Loewy called it the most perfectly designed package in use. It was created in 1915 to give a new distinctive image for this soft drink company. What is it? Darren Central. That's correct. Central, your extra credit. Captain Charles Sigsbee was in command when a spontaneous fire in the coal bunkers spread to the ammunition stores and sank the ship on February 15th, 1898. Do you remember it? What was it?
The Maine.
The Maine is the correct answer. Toss-up teams. In room 101, you find what you're most afraid of. In what 1949 novel, Jacob, North Branch?
1984.
1984 is correct.
Okay.
Your extra credit, North Branch. It straddles the equator south of the China Sea, north of the Java Sea, and west of the Celebes Sea. It is the 3rd largest island in the world. What is it?
Java.
It's incorrect. Borneo. That's the correct answer. Most of the rocks in the oceans and many of the rocks brought back from the moon by the Apollo astronauts are examples of this dark Grant, North Branch.
Metamorphic.
Incorrect. Most of the rocks in the ocean and many of the rocks brought back from the moon by the Apollo astronauts are examples of this dark igneous rock. What is it? Darren Central.
Obsidian.
It's also incorrect. Basalt is the answer. It was the first commercially successful plastic used for billiard balls and collard stays. It's Darren Central.
Bakelite.
It's incorrect. It was the first commercially successful plastic used for billiard balls and collar stays. Its tendency to become unstable and burst into flame has made collecting old movies a dangerous hobby. What is it? Jacob North Branch.
Polypropylene.
It's incorrect. Celluloid is the correct answer. Toss up again, teams. Within 20 years, in what year did all of the following events occur? Leonardo da Vinci died. Panama City and Havana were both founded. Cortez imprisoned Montezuma. And Magellan began its voyage around the Ryan North Branch. That's incorrect. I didn't quite have it all out, so I'll repeat. Within 20 years, in what year did all of the following events occur? Leonardo da Vinci died. Panama City and Havana were both founded. Cortez imprisoned Montezuma. And Magellan began his voyage around the world. Tom Central.
1605.
It's also incorrect. 1519 is the exact year. I'd have taken 1499 to 1539. Here's another toss-up. Robert Jordan is an American who volunteers to fight with the partisans. Ryan North Branch.
For whom the bell tolls.
That's correct. North Branch, your extra credit. In 1943, he joined a bicycle seat and handlebars to make a striking work of art called Bull's Head. Who was this creative Spanish artist?
Picasso.
Picasso is correct. Another toss-up, teams. It is the branch of mechanics that deals with systems in equilibrium. That is, in which all forces are balanced and there is no motion. What is it called? Time's up. I'm sorry, I called time. Statics is the answer. Here's your next toss-up. How the camel got his hump, how the rhino got his skin, and the cat, Ryan North Branch.
Just So Stories. By Kipling.
That's incorrect. How the camel got his hump, how the rhino got his skin, and the cat that walked by himself are a few of this author's Just So stories. Who is he? Tom Central.
Silverstein.
Rudyard Kipling is the correct answer. Here's another toss-up. In 922 BC, the kingdom of Israel split into two kingdoms. 10 tribes ruled by Rehoboam, let me spell that, Rehoboam, formed the northern kingdom and kept the name Israel. What name was given to Darren Central?
Judah.
Judah is correct. Central, your extra credit. This mountain range extends from California to British Columbia and includes both Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier. What range is it?
Cascades.
That's the correct answer. Toss-up, teams. Louis Philippe of France was known as the Citizen King. What 20th century Ryan North Branch?
Hearst.
That's incorrect. Louis Philippe of France was known as the Citizen King. What 20th century president of the United States was known as Mr. Citizen? Tom Central.
FDR.
It's also incorrect. Harry Truman. And Hearst was Citizen Kane. It may seem, this is toss-up, it may seem like ancient history now, but in 1972, Nolan Bushnell founded the Atari Company and began marketing the first commercially successful video game. What was it? Jacob North Branch.
Pac-Man.
That's incorrect. It may seem like ancient history now, but in 1972, Nolan Bushnell founded the Atari Company and began marketing the first commercially successful video game. What was it called? Jason Central.
Atari 2600.
It's also incorrect. Correct answer is Pong. And I may need a chair. I feel a little old with that one. Toss-up, teams. It is the heaviest element that can be formed naturally without the heat of a supernova. In the Earth, it's found in magnetite and hematite. What is it? Time's up. Iron is the answer. Pablo Casals, Orlando Cepeda, Ryan North Branch.
Cello.
That's incorrect. Pablo Casals, Orlando Cepeda, Jose Ferrer, Roberto Clemente, and Rita Moreno were all born on this West Indies island. What is it? Tom, Central.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico is the correct answer. Central, this is your extra credit. In the great epic poem of France, written in the 11th century, he is Charlemagne's nephew who is ambushed and killed by the Saracens. Who is this epic hero?
Louis.
It's incorrect. Roland is the correct answer from Song of Roland. Toss-up teams. The first was fought from 264 to 241 BC. The second was fought from 218 to 201 BC. Rass, North Branch.
Punion Wars.
That's correct. This is your extra credit, North Branch. Felix Mendelssohn composed the well-known Wedding March, whose piano sonata in B-flat minor contains the well-known Funeral March.
Haydn. Chopin. Haydn.
It's incorrect. I think I heard somebody say it. Frédéric Chopin is the answer. Here's your next toss-up teams. 1995, a year destined to be chiseled in Roman numerals on some building somewhere, sometime in the next few months. Let's beat them to it. What is 19... Grant, North Branch.
MC V XV.
Incorrect. I will repeat, 1995, a year destined to be chiseled in Roman numerals on some building somewhere sometime in the next few months. Let's beat them to it. What is 1995 in Roman numerals? Central, Tom.
MVD.
It's also incorrect. It is MCMXCV, and that will bring us to the conclusion of this game. And as you can see behind me, North Branch has come out on top. A very well played game by Central, and Central, congratulations on a good season and tournament here at High School Challenge, and good luck in your other competition throughout the year. We'll be back with more High School Challenge later.